Uber Soca Cruise, bro. Out in the streets, them ballin' Uber Soca. Out in the ocean, them ballin' Uber Soca.
Uber is something where we will come every year and expect the unexpected. Because you could never plan how this is going to be. But it's all good. It's been amazing. The energy of each boat is its own thing because it is its own group of people. So the energy is off the roof. I have to say this is probably one of the most energetic I've seen. So good so far.
Keep them company. I want you, bro. Charm on somebody now. Hold on somebody now. Make them your family. Tell them pass the rum, ice. The place to the woman and right. Watch how the party turn up tonight. Because we out and bad in the people fed and we causing trouble. Just watch how we causing trouble. Everybody buying bottles. Well, after we causing trouble. Somebody give me room to mash up this place. Front to the back to jump up and away. Whole place shell is madness in here. Bring everything way up in the air. Show them up there. Front to the back to jump up and away. Whole place shell is madness in here. Bring everything way up in the air. Show them up there.
Wow. It's only the first night. Wow. It's only the first night.
Uber Soca.
I go in Uber cruise and mind my business. On the boat and mind my business. Who me? I don't watch people mad. Uber Soca cruise is the job. Who me? I don't watch people things. I's a queen and Uber cruise have them things. Some of them that stop me most. Like they know it all. Ask them how they can let it.
See, I can't stress. I don't care about what they say. Just rest it down in the past. Keep the millie away. I can't stress about that. I'm booking a solo flight. Don't give me nobody pass. See, if you don't like my style, I can't stress. Get busy. Dang, dang, dang. Nigga, the ganga, dang. If you have good energy, come and let we jam. Dang, dang, dang. Nigga, the ganga, dang. If you have good energy, come and let we jam. Dang, dang, dang. Nigga, the ganga, dang. If you have good energy, come and let we jam. Dang, dang, dang. Nigga, the ganga, dang. Must be mad.
Don't ship tree. No, you don't want to ship tree. Don't. Do not even think. That's a good idea.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, what is up, go, I don't have, 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 I don't have,
Good morning. Are you excited? Oh my God. The return. Uber Soca Cruise, the return. Dre, aka the Carnival Ref of Trinity Jungle Juice. And today, welcome, share the thing. We're talking all things US VI. And of course, Uber Soca Cruise. So let your friends know that we're live. We're live on Uber Soca Cruise Facebook page. I think they're YouTube, Trinity Jungle Juice Facebook, USVI Facebook. So hit the nearest channel. Let your friends know that we're live. And today, as I said, I have two special guests, right, that represents the USVI. By the way, the US Virgin Islands is the official destination partner for Uber Soca Cruise 2022 to 2023, which is why we're having this conversation today. But before we even go there, let me give you guys a little background. Trinity Jungle Juice has been an official media partner for Uber Soca Cruise since day one. We're talking 2016 all the way to 2019. And it is something of, I guess, epic history, right? I've seen this thing grown from one ship in year one to one ship. And the first year, I don't even think that it was a sold out ship. Year 2, sold out, one ship. Year 3 and 4, 2 ships, sold out. That is where we're going. And what I love about Uber Soca Cruise, and I'll tell everybody this all the time, is the ability for it to take soca music and bring everybody, no matter what country you're from, whether it's the islands or non-islander, together. Like, I love that. I've seen so many situations where artists from Trinidad linked with an artist from a different island and had collaborations. That would have never happened before. I've seen people from Jamaica link up with people from the USVI or Haiti and became best friends because of this whole thing called soca music. And the common denominator, Uber Soca Cruise. And what you have to love about it is, I mean, we from year 2, we said Uber Soca Cruise is the unofficial, official, or last official, what we say, or one of the last official carnivals for the year. When it started, it was just a cruise. To me, it is full-blown a carnival vibe. Like, seriously, Uber Soca Cruise, I'm excited it's back. And I'm really looking forward to it. And best yet, normally we sail in November. But for 2023, they're kicking things off with a spring edition cruise. April 9th to the 14th, leaving from Puerto Rico. We've never left from Puerto Rico before, so new things, new destinations. And that first destination, one of the first destinations for that spring cruise where we'll be touching is the U.S. Virgin Islands, which I actually, believe it or not, my first experience of the USVI was for St. Thomas Carnival a couple months ago. And I loved it. Like, I totally loved it. I didn't know, we've been sleeping on the USVI, folks. And seriously, we're going to change that after this discussion. So without further ado, let me bring on my first guest, who happens to be the director of the USVI Festivals, and he'll give more details on that, which is a branch of the USVI Tourism Department, Mr. Ian Turnbull, right? So let's get him on and let's get this thing going. Let's get this discussion on the roll. Good morning, Ian.
Morning, Dre. Morning, Dre. I don't.
I felt like I just saw you yesterday.
Yeah,
in the action, in the melee, in
we were just
St. Thomas.
Eating Johnny Cake together.
Yeah. Welcome to the show. And first of all, Uber Soca Cruise and of course Trinity Junctions by extension is like totally excited and happy to have the USVI as the destination partner.
Yeah, man, we're excited about it as well, man. When we had you come down, luckily we had some people from Uber fall through too, and it was just a perfect marriage. So being here in this situation and having the conversations, all of us, I call y'all family now, man. We had a real good vibe in St. Thomas.
Wow, yeah, totally. And that thing you guys call Big Band.
Yeah,
in love.
Yeah.
Like I'm.
Yeah.
I've become. I want to say I'm not but I've become one of the ambassadors for pushing the USVI soca music and culture. Before coming to the island, I already had connections with Pumper, Adamo,
right.
And then after coming and feeling the love and experiencing what y'all do locally, and even sharing the jokes where we might say one thing one way, and you always say the same exact thing with the USVI accent. Like we say tamarind, and you'll say tamon.
Tamon, yeah.
I love it. I love it.
But that's what
tell
makes
us a little bit more about your role with the the USVI festivals.
Yeah. So in 2019, the government wanted to go in slightly different directions with hosting our carnivals and festivals. Unlike most other Caribbean islands, we have 3 islands that actually are like their own like district. So and they always have had their own carnivals, right?
Right.
St. Thomas has a carnival, St. Croix has a festival, and St. John has a celebration. And so the government shift lanes and said, hey, we want to have a territorial director who's going to be in charge of everything, make sure that we have better marketing, make sure that we push the envelope and get the word out there for people to come to the territory. And so I was fortunate to get that seat and get that job, and of course get gray hairs all over the place. But and we've been doing it from 2020, the end of 2019 up to this point, and it's been a long ride, and it's been fun, man, because we get to meet cool people. We get to meet people like yourselves. We get to encourage people to come to the territory, and then we get to fet. You know, the governor here always says, you know, Ian, you get the best job, you don't get to party. So, you know, it's been fun.
They always think, Ian, they always think this party, you know, but
Exactly.
we need a vacation after the vacation, because it's real hard work. People don't realize that.
Real.
It's crazy.
Yep. Yeah,
Crazy. Do we, at this point, I don't know if we want to bring on our next guest.
Yeah, let's bring him in here. He's my boss. You know.
Yeah, Mr. Joseph, and his last name, Ian.
Yeah, Boschulte.
Yeah, right. Yeah. He is the commissioner of the USVI, Department of Tourism, and let's get him on board. I actually had the pleasure of meeting Joe. I don't know if I could call you Joe.
Definitely, Joe. Definitely, Dre. Good to see you again. I know we hung out a few nights at a carnival in our village. Ian, morning. Ubasoka, Passy, morning. Thank you. I want to begin first by thanking Ubasoka and Trini Juice, Jungle Juice, for their support of the USVI. They're confident in us to be a partner in this big venture. I want to start by commending the leadership for having the courage and vision to pull off Ubasoka. As you mentioned, Dre, in the opening, this is a big step. You know, not only to have an entire charter with the soca genre, but also to have the courage to say we can bring enough Caribbean people, diaspora, and others around to fill up a ship to make it worthwhile, and then to take it to 2 ships, and then now to take it to a 3rd sailing is amazing, right? So for somebody who is in the business and who goes out to market to the world, USVI, of course, but the Caribbean, secondly, it makes me so proud to be a Caribbean man and a Caribbean person to see what Ubasoka Cruise is doing. Yeah. I want to also say that we began this conversation a couple years ago, and like most things, COVID had other plans. And we had a little hiatus, but then, you know, as things started to align, you know, we made contact with you, Dre, to come in to do our carnival. We had conversations with Jody and Nathaniel at Ubasoka for us to begin having conversations. And there was a willingness from Ian and our team and our governor, Albert Bryan, to find out ways where we could make this happen. And when you have that will and a commitment on both sides, we were able to be here today where we can share and announce this partnership publicly with the U.S. Virgin Islands and Ubasoka and Trinity Jungle Juice. So my name is Joe Boschulte, Commissioner. Again, I'm really, really happy to be here. I have my towel waving and the introduction of the promo coming up. And then I was thinking to myself, April 9th to the 14th, if I do Ubasoka, can I be recovered in time for our carnival 2 weeks later? I don't know if I could be able to do it, but I got to see. I might have to take some of your stuff, Dre, and get my hair dyed because this gray ain't going to last. I got to figure out what I'm going to do.
Peace. You know, it's funny you said that because when I got to St. Thomas Carnival and I saw, you know, some of the members from the Ubasoka Cruise team there, you know, not calling any names, Jody, I'm thinking, what's going on, you know? But tell us a bit what attracted you guys to form this partnership, to make this thing where it is today. And as you said, it didn't start yesterday. Right? The discussion was pre-pandemic.
Right.
You know, these things don't happen overnight. And people just assume, you know, hey, they're knocking the door, USVI, you know, let's do something. But there's a lot more groundwork that happens, huh?
Yeah, I think for us in the U.S. Virgin Islands, from a macro strategy level, you know, we have begun aggressively to promote overnight vacationers to come to the territory, St. Thomas, St. Croix, St. John. And at the same time, you know, we have historically been a cruise destination, which is why this fit is natural for us in the U.S. Virgin Islands. And, you know, sometimes on a cruise, 30 to 40% of the people on the cruise, their first introduction to the territory is on the ship. and they're only here for a few hours. So the hope was, as always, bring them back for a week, bring them back for Carnival, bring them back for St. John celebration next month, or St. Croix festival in December. So that was the sort of medium and the strategy behind it. And then what happened is I had been following Ubasoka indirectly from people in my family, people who I work with, people from the territory who have been on the cruises. Right. And then, of course, in this day and age with social media, you almost like you there too, except you're not really there, but you could see, right? So we've seen DJ Avalanche, we've seen Pumpa, we've seen our artists in the USVI take the main stage and have the people going crazy. So that was something that we then talked about. Ian and his team were the drivers to say, you know, Joe, I think we could do something with this. You know, we could get something that could take the USVI as a destination to another level, not just with the US traveler, but with the Caribbean traveler now, to have an opportunity to say we could fit in the USVI too. You know, we could hit Trinidad in February and then hit St. Thomas in April. We could do it. And I think that's sort of where the momentum carried for us to be able to be in a position like we are right now, to actually see now some of these initial conversations that you said, Dre, come to light.
Yeah. And I love that story, because I don't know what it is, right? That I always hear time and time that people say, or the USVI folks will say, that they feel as if the rest of the Caribbean leave you guys out. So I want to assume that based on what I'm hearing, is the USVI is way more popular stateside than within the Caribbean islands themselves. You know, you guys might be the last folks to get called on the roll call. You know, Antigua, Jamaica, Barbados, and you might call USVI, you know, VI. And why is that though? How do we change it? So this is a good step, just as you said, to change that. But how do we make the rest of the Caribbean more aware that the USVI is part of us? And do you guys consider yourself Caribbean or American?
Well, we definitely Caribbean first and foremost, right? By geography. We are part of the United States, so we are a territory of the United States.
Right.
And I think one of the things that you know, when you were here, Dre, I'm sure as you moved around the island, you heard a lot more VI accents than you heard American accents.
Correct.
So whenever people ask me that question, I say, look, we could have this conversation in our dialect, and the majority of people that visit us won't have a clue what we're saying. Matter of fact, they'll be like, what language are you speaking? Yes. But we have this, we speak in our dialect with Caribbean people. Now, you might miss a word or two. So like, when I talk to a Jamaican and they're rolling off, I think I catch in about 75% of the conversation. But I could tell you, I could always say yes, and I understand 100%, right?
Yeah.
And I think as we move through, that's another piece of Caribbean. So we are Caribbean. And I think one of the things that in our business, in tourism especially, we lose sight of the reality of we just need people to come to the Caribbean region. And all of us do well. So whether it's as far south as Trinidad and Barbados, or as far in the middle with us and British Virgin Island and St. Martin, or going further north to Bahamas, it's one Caribbean. And once we get people in the region, then not only does it allow for us as a Caribbean group to benefit, but it also allows for our genre and our culture and our cuisine to be seen by people to say, I want to do this. And I think for us, that was a big emphasis for us as we go first, right? We Caribbean, but yes, we American. And I think Ubasoka, with you pushing Dre, with Ian pushing, and the whole Ubasoka family, I think we hope that after April, we move up a couple notches on the Carlo.
Yeah. Because Ian, in 2018 and 19, the last 2 years of Ubasoka Cruise, I don't know what happened, what changed, but the USVI showed up, beyond showed up, right? In 2018, Avalanche came and played a set, and the USVI took over the ship, right? And in no doubt, hands down, representation probably doubled in 2019, right?
Right.
And it was insane. The energy, the way you guys fed, the way you guys, support the thing. What we can expect come 2023 when we do reach, the motherland.
When it reaches the motherland, right, Drake, it's going to be problems because, I am of the opinion that we probably have one of the best Juves. I think you experience our Juve, and I know I bump you in the Juve and you're like, boy, this thing on the water. you know.
Yeah.
So
And I got a
it's
taste. I
special.
got a taste.
Yeah, you got a taste. So I know that, you know, that's what we don't know exactly what we're going to be doing yet, but I'm hoping that we give the people, other people, a taste of our Juve, how we like to fit. And so come 2023, I could see the numbers easily tripling, quadrupling just with VI alone. VI might, the way VI is, we might go and just buy the boat out and just like everybody out. You know, when the date that tickets go online, we might just run up in there. So, you know, no disrespect to everybody else, but we to come to party. And the fact that we're gonna be on ground in the USVI is just gonna be explosive. You know, I gotta give big kudos to our artists, you know, our local artists, Pompa, you know, Avalanche, Mike Love, Adam O, who's tearing up the place right now.
Yes.
You know, it you know, the partnerships with them and with us and with Uber and with Trini Jungle Juice, you know, and again, we don't want all, we just want people to come and enjoy and get a taste of what we have to offer here. And then we're gonna come down Trinidad, and then we're gonna come down Barbados, and we're gonna go every place. But you know, we need, like the commissioner said, we just need to move up a little bit more and shout out notch. You know?
Yeah. Just now, you guys will be like salt. You all will be in everything. I have no doubt that it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. And you just answered my question because, you know, the Uber Soca Cruise has given a platform to a lot of these small islands, and I don't even like to use the word, but it's there. You know, they say small islands. I think we're all one island. Opportunity to showcase and be seen by the rest of the Caribbean, the rest of the world, right? So, and you mentioned Pampa, Aramo, they're clear examples. I strongly believe that the platform was presented, they came on board, people saw, and when the USVI, you know, folks on the ship backed them and showed the noise, then the rest of the Caribbean and the world said, wait, these people, there's something, you know, and we need to follow what they're doing and understand what's going on, you know. So that leads me into this question. You all have a motto, 3 ways to fetch, right? Tell us a little bit more about this.
Yeah. So it's actually 3 reasons to fed. And actually the slogan was an old tourism slogan from back in the day. That was put out, right? Coincidentally, I was a kid and they had a competition that where they were to come up with a slogan for tourism. And ironically, I came up with that slogan back in the day. 3 reasons to love us. It was called 3 reasons to love us here in the Virgin Islands. And so again, just things falling in line, destiny coming in this job. I said, well, let me pull back what I had from the past, use it now, and we call it 3 reasons to fet. And so we just been here, and again, literally, we have 3 reasons for people to come and enjoy themselves. And so, you know, just destiny stars aligning, and then we're here and we just pushing, and we want to encourage everybody to come check us, but most of all, love up on our Uber Soca family, you know?
Yeah. And for people who don't know the 3 reasons, what are these 3 reasons?
St. John, St. Croix, St. Thomas.
Yeah. 3 totally unique festivals or carnivals, different time of the year. Nothing to do but come and love up. And enjoy the thing.
I think, Dre, if I could just jump in here, I think one of the things we like to highlight with our 3 reasons to fit, and you were part of St. Thomas this year, is these are free events, right? With a top-notch entertainment that you saw in our village. There was no cost. You had an opportunity to come in and enjoy the best of the best we have to offer in soca music and reggae, because we had Barry Salmons one night that you were there, that you came in and it was free. And you know, we go back and forth. Should we conform and have and charge like everybody, or remain unique, right? And invite people to experience the USVI culture and experience what we arguably would promote as the best music festivals you could get for the price of what you pay to enter. And I think that is something that as we move forward, we continue to embrace that we have it. So we have some major events going on in St. John in a couple of weeks. Again, open, free to the public to come in and enjoy and fet. And that's something that sometimes, you know, we like to focus on what's wrong, but sometimes we need to appreciate sometimes that you can still get things and don't have to break your pocket now, especially if we look at inflation across the globe. You get opportunity, you could get here and you could hang out for 4 hours or 5 hours in the village, eat, drink. Now that's what you have to pay for. That's not free. but the entertainment itself, you can enjoy, and we are still holding tight on that. We're probably one of the last out there in the Caribbean space that are free right now.
Yeah.
But we embrace that.
Yeah, and that's a great point there, Joe, because I was talking to a friend from Austin, Texas, who's been to many carnivals, total American guy, and he was explaining to me, he said, hey, I want to come to Trini, but I think I might be outpriced now. The hotel alone, $3,500 for the week. Flights, almost $1,200 to maybe $1,500 US. He say, I'm already close to $5,000, and I even talking about my costume or my fed tickets yet, right? Insane. And then you have the USVI now, St. Thomas, as you said. You buy your tickets, especially if you're coming from the stateside, it ain't that expensive. You know, you get your costume, it ain't costing you a bag, and you don't have to really worry about your fed tickets. If you want to go to some of the other private events, a cruise, all-inclusive, a breakfast fed, yeah, but you get any major entertainment artists like Kess and, Barris, and free. So you don't have to even worry about that expense. You just have to get there. And I love that. You're right. That leads us to, you guys have the next people are asking, what time frames are the three reasons, St. Thomas, St. John's, but St. John's is coming up a couple of weeks.
Yeah. So St. John is up next. It's literally 2 weeks. Don't remind me. So we're excited about that. St. John usually happens from the middle of June all the way to July 4th. So it is a dual celebration because what we have in St. John is the 3rd is when the Virgin Islands had their emancipation from slavery, the abolishment of slavery, right? So that was on July 3rd. So then and then on July 4th, you then have Independence Day for America. So of course we're American Caribbean or Caribbean American, whichever one you want to call it. So we just celebrate the both of them at that time. So that's what makes St. John so distinct and unique. To get to St. John, you have to go to St. Thomas and then take a ferry over. Undeniably some of the best beaches in the entire world are on St. John, the best snorkeling, and then you have a bunch of great activities and things you could do. They lime out. You could eat a taco while you're in the water. No, like just special experiences. And so, St. John is coming up. It's going to be about 5 or 6 days of activities. We have a food fair, we have a juve, we have a parade, we have fireworks, and of course we have our free village nights where we have bungee garland, Morgan Heritage, Ras Attitude, Cool Session Brass, our own local entertainers, Third Eye Barry, Jam Band, when the list, Voice, and so we could even run a video right now just to show people just a little bit, a little taste of it.
I say we run the video, and while this video is playing, drop some flames, put up your hand if you're going to St. John's.
You put up my towel again. Get ready to wave again.
Oh gosh, man, Perry. I'm just a stranger in a crowded place. And me cooler and relate. Hoping to find someone with a familiar face, so we could sit and celebrate. This is not the time to be alone. This is the time to wind on a bumper. So let's be amazing, if I amazing. With no care in the world, let me get out of the air. I want you to charm on somebody now.
And there you have it, folks. Reason number 2 to fast St. John's celebration. It is right around the corner. Trust me, if you're doing nothing around that period of time, or if you're doing something, get online, book a flight, find out where you're staying, and get to St. John. Seriously. And guys, I don't know who's best suited to answer this question, but if there were 5 things, like they'll say, everywhere you go, they're like, what's the 5 top things to do when you land in the USVI? What, Joe? Give me 2. Ian, you can give me 3 after.
Enjoy the beaches, 1.
Beaches.
Enjoy the people, 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say snorkeling, any one of the islands, anyone. It don't matter which one. We have some of the best snorkeling and diving in the world.
Right.
And then you have hiking for people who want to do those like fit activities. And then of course enjoying the food. Our food is amazing. We have 3 options. And then all rum ain't that expensive neither. So
yeah.
going out to a bar and enjoying yourself at night, drinking with your friends and then going to the beach and doing all our activities. But we have a ton of things to do: diving, snorkeling, hiking. We have a tramway. So there's tons to do. We encourage people to go over to visit usvi.com to get all the information on the USVI.
Yeah. Right.
I think Dre,
what did you do?
Yeah, exactly. I was just going to actually, as a first-time visitor, less than 2 months ago, it looked like you were up and out every day early.
I was trying to do the most. And I'll tell you this. I mean, what I've seen, like, definitely you guys have some beautiful beaches. My thing is, like, everyone locally was telling me, you got to go to Cokey Point. That's the beach, right? When I went up to, what do you guys call the view? Devil's Point or Peak? Where you see Megan's.
Yeah.
Drake Sea.
Or Drake Sea.
Right? And Megan's Beach, visually, when I saw it from the top, I just said, I told the driver, I said, take us there. Take me there. I need to go in that water. I just need to go on that beach. It's beautiful, right? And they kept saying, no, Cokey Point, right? Cokey Point is the Lyman Beach. Like, if you want the local experience and you want to lime and really and feel comfortable, I think Cokey Point. I still think, hands down, as a first timer, you have to go to Megan's Bay.
Yeah, you do.
Visually, it is one of the nicest things I've seen. It's like, that's for me one of the top things to do.
Yeah, it's been one of the top 10 beaches in the world by many public travel industry publications. Has ranked in the top 10 for as long as I can remember. So definitely, it still holds its cachet today.
Yeah. And inside joke. Sorry, I took Adam, who was there with me, and I said, "Hey, we go in and we have to take a dip in all the water. We must dip. We can't just go and watch." And he say, "We have 5 minutes before we go." I say, "We go in and put on our some trunks," and we ran into the water. As I hit the water at Megan's Bay, it was cold. I said, bad idea, reverse. Bad idea. It was beautiful, but it was cool. I was like, wait, I expected this thing to be warm. Maybe I went on an off day, but still, I believe to wash off any bad juju anybody puts in you go and take a dip in the water whenever you travel. You must dip.
I agree.
You must dip. And speaking about dipping, if you were coming to the USVI on a romantic getaway, what hotels would you say? Because for me, I stayed at Bluebeard's Castle. Historic, beautiful, well-positioned for the carnival vibe. Right. But when I go to an island, I always want to get out of my room and just walk a little bit and put my toes in the sand. Personally, so I was thinking, I was like, man, it would have been so awesome if I stayed in a resort in the USVI that was on the beach. So if I was on a romantic getaway, what will be some of these resorts you'll say you need to put these on your list?
Well, we have a Ritz-Carlton and St. Thomas. That's our high-end resort. Beautiful, right? Resort on the beach, has its own beach. St. John, we have the Western property, which is fabulous. And at St. Croix, we have a featured property over there, the Buccaneer. But one of the things I think that we've done and grown tremendously through the COVID period is our sharing economy, whether that's Airbnb, VRBO, home away from home. That particular segment actually has more rooms available in the U.S. Virgin Islands than our traditional hotel rooms. So these are villas, these are properties on the beach, these are properties close to the beach. And I think one of the things, Dre, as we still move through sort of into the endemic phase, what we learn is that a lot of people still want to be around people, but not around people all the time. So the sharing economy, we have lots of those to offer. And then, of course, we have the traditional rooms. At the high end, we have more economic rooms, like at Emerald Beach in St. Thomas, Gallows Point in St. Croix, and the Fred in St. Croix, Gallows Point in St. John, sorry. So we have a wide spectrum. I encourage anybody that wants to take a vacation with their family, their special person, or alone, right? And you just want to vibe by yourself. Look us up on visitusvi.com. All of the options are there for you to see. Visit usvi.com, and definitely, investigate, check and see. I'm sure the three of us could sell you, but you can do that in your own privacy and compare notes. But usvi.com is where you visit. usvi.com is where you want to find all of that information.
Yeah, and shout out to everybody in the comments that are sharing all the tips and bits as well. Emerald Beach in St. Thomas, Buccaneer, Carambola in St. Croix, Ritz-Carlton. They basically echoing what you just said, Joe. So good. Let's go back Ubasuka. But before you actually go back to Ubasuka, we're talking about hotels. Let's talk quickly about food. Is there a national dish in the USVI?
Yeah, you want to take that?
So they say it is boiled fish in butter sauce. I personally feel is like kank in butter sauce, right? Kank in butter sauce to me is like is one of those things that we just do so well. But we also do boiled fish in butter sauce as well.
So there's no really official national dish, but it's what the people eat often.
There is something that people eat often. It is a boiled fish, right? But there's, we have a lot. Remember, it's 3 islands, so we got a lot of competition going on.
Yeah,
we have
you guys are already fighting over who's make the best float.
Yeah, who to make the best Johnny cake? So some people would say that kank and butter sauce is our official dish. Others would say it's fish and fungi.
Fish and fungi.
So it really is. What side of the bed you roll out on is what food you're gonna say, what dish you're gonna say is the best,
All right. So besides those 2 dishes, what are the foods you advise people that they must try when they touch the islands? I know in Trinidad we always tell people you must have the doubles, you must have the roti, pilau. When I land, someone comes in first time, I had, I all live and die by Johnny Cake. I won't lie. Johnny Cake is the savior, pre-fed, after-fed, in between. Yeah. The food was phenomenal, but what dishes you'll say you have to try?
Yeah, I would tell people they have to try our pâtés, right? And in some places, it's empanada, however they call it, which is basically the dough with meat filled inside. I mean, all 3 islands have their own, how they cook them, how they fry them. Some of them bake them, how they do the dough, some thick and doughy, some not. It just depends. That would be my first thing to try. And they come in with all kind of fillings: chicken, beef, saltfish, kank, you name it. The Johnny cakes, of course, are something that we can get all around. And I guess, the unique thing about us in the Caribbean is we all have similar dishes. We just call them different things. Like you mentioned tamon before and tamarind. Like we call Johnny cakes in Jamaica, they call it festivals. And it just depends on when you go. And the best part about visiting different islands and to tie it back to Ubasuka, with a Caribbean cruise, is you could actually go around and you hear something and you're like, what is that? But when you see it, you're like, oh yeah, that's just a Johnny cake. They just call it something differently.
Yeah.
And I think that's special about us in the Caribbean, is that we have these different dishes and they could be cooked differently, but fundamentally, because we are descendants that came in from the same place many, many years ago. And that history and that culture continues to live with all of us. And as we move through and we see different things that happens. And I think I would go back to pâtés, Johnny cakes, and of course we have all of the seafood delights that fish, the kank, that you can find. One of the dishes that we don't talk about a lot is kalaloo. That is seen around that people eat. And again, they have them all in the same islands. I remember I've been I've been to many of the islands in my role in tourism and before in my previous careers. And I'm always amazed when you go to some of the markets or the food, however they call them and however they defined. Go in there and you see many of the same things they're very familiar to, right? So it's and like a good example I always chuckle with people in the Caribbean is like we call it peas and rice here. And you go other places, they call it rice and beans.
And then chicken curry versus curry chicken. Guyana versus Trinidad argument.
But we all know, right? So when we come down, so if you bring somebody, I'll give an example. You bring somebody from America now, and they look at it and they're like, what's that? We don't have that same experience because when we look at it, we know exactly what it is. So I'm hoping the people on Ubasoka will have that Caribbean food ready to go.
Fish and fungi.
Callaloo with a K down by y'all.
We spell it with a K by us, exactly.
Oh man. So so we're talking all this good food and the destinations. What can we look forward to without letting the cat out of the bag come 2023 with the partnership with the USVI and Ubasoka Cruise? So are we going to start seeing some USVI dishes maybe on the ship? Are we going to, when we land, when we touch down in the USVI, like what could we look forward to?
Let me tell you from my experience in the cruise business, I always say that the ship controls, and in this case, Ubasoka controls what happens on the ship. I know we can control what happens once you get off that ship and you touch the concrete on that pier, then you experience and immerse in USVI. So as Ian mentioned, we have some things that we're discussing with the Ubasoka team that we'd like to put forward to represent not only to all of the travelers on the ship, but also to allow visitors from around and everybody to just experience not only what we have to offer as a USVI, but just to see how infectious, and I know that's not a good word, but since we're moving into the endemic stage, we could use it, how the Ubasoka people is. Because when I watch the videos for just the opening video and I see how people go crazy on the ship, I'm like, well, how did I miss the first 4 or 5 years? So I got to figure out how I'm going to make this one. But I think that's going to be the experience when you see. And I think, Dre, you have a good, fresh memory of how we party here in the USVI because you just lived it. And then, I had to give you a couple of high fives because you were like everywhere, right? So when I didn't see you face to face, I see you on Facebook and I'm like, well, he's still out there hanging all day. And I think that's what we're going to look forward to. So when people party that night in Ubasoka, before they get into St. Thomas or St. Croix, I know that's going to be an announcement that's coming soon. I just want people to know that don't take that time off to sleep in the USVI because it's going to be an experience like you've never experienced before. And we are gearing up for it right now.
Agreed. So Ian, like you guys are ready for 4,000 plus soca lovers to reach. You're ready.
Man, we born ready. Man, what blacks they say? May he rest in peace, right? Yeah, man, we ready. We've been ready. This is something that a lot of the people here in the territory have been waiting for a long time. Just again, small island. So we're gonna show up. We're gonna want to show everybody what we have to offer. I guarantee you, there gonna be a lot of people who from the different islands who gonna come here, and local people gonna say, "No man, let me take you to this spot." We're gonna be taking people, just to take them to experience something different, and then bringing them back to the fete. So it's gonna be a good time. I know that, a big shout out to Nat and Jody for just having the visionary, man, and looking at the Virgin Islands as a credible destination. Because we like to party, and I think everybody kind of knows by now. When the USVI in effect, we are not going unnoticed. So that's gonna be the same vibe now when you land on our grounds. You're gonna know, okay, all right, this is how they give it up, and you're gonna just have a good time, and then then we get ready for the next ship in November again and shell that one day down again.
Facts. And Ian, I mean, after Echo, you mentioned, you was giving props to Jody and Nathaniel and the US, the Ubasoka team for having the vision, right? But I want to mention that when I was actually at St. Thomas Carnival, a lot of people from the USVI was stopping me And I didn't know exactly who was at the time, but they were actually giving props to both yourself and Joe for the vision for bringing Trinity Jungle Juice to the carnival and saying, hey, I just want to stop you to tell you how big of a moment this is for us, because we were always within our box and our circles, but now we're stepping out, and the guys have the vision to do something bigger, to show our culture and our carnival and what we do to the rest of the soca community, carnival community, via a Trinity Jungle Juice medium. And they hope that you guys continue along that track to work with guys like us and other, media houses and partners beyond what could help showcase what you guys do, because it is incredible. And that was when I left, since, I went to Orlando Carnival, I was in the Cayman Islands for Out of This World by Renegade Mass weekend. And folks down there were like, hey, tell me more about this St. Thomas Carnival. Tell me more about the USVI, because you were there and it looked nice. I need to put this on my schedule for 2023. Awesome. And so props to you guys for the vision of stepping out and taking a chance with Trinity Jungle Juice.
No, man,
Uber Soca Cruise.
Yeah, thank you for coming. I mean, I think we appreciated it. When we spoke about because even when we planned our carnival for St. Thomas in April, I mean, we still didn't know. I mean, we still had protocols. You didn't know what you could do. You didn't know what was going on. And we took a faith. Our leadership here allowed us to push forward. And then when we had the conversation about how can we share what we do in the USVI to the world, and your platform was perfect, right? You got out there, you had a strong following. It almost came nicely because you sort of kind of came back on the scene with our carnival, and everybody's like, oh, Trinity Jungle Juice back in business again and moving. So it worked out well for us. Yeah. And I think the part that to bring it full circle back with Soca, I think for us, as we continue to grow, right, as a destination, and then grow our soca artists on a whole, as we know in marketing and in the business, right? The first thing you have to do is you have to have quality. But the second thing is people have to see the quality. So we could sit down and we can have the best of the best and only us know about it. And yeah, we still could feel like we're the best. But if the world doesn't know and other people don't know, then we don't fully achieve what we could achieve. And I think with this partnership now, we have an opportunity not only for us to share what we have in the USBI, but for us to learn too, right? One of the best things about Caribbean people is we can learn from each other. We could see, our artists could see the professionalism of others, and they could see what we have to offer here. Our people, I think, Dre, sometimes we don't give credit where credit is due. I'm sure you're inspiring people all the time that, if you have the ability to tell stories and you have the comfort in front of a TV and you have a platform, you could share memories and places to people that they remember you. So people saw you walking around. I saw people stopping you all the time. And you look at them and you're like, well, how do you even know? I just met him myself. But they knew you over the years through your platform. And of course, we know through Soca and the growth that they've had, people know the brand, right? So and that's all about what it is. So again, for us, we were grateful to be in a position to partner with the two entities, Trinity Jungle Juice and Soca Cruise. We will make sure that when you touch down in the USVI this year and the next year and whenever else we could do it, you're going to have that fun time. And we look forward to supporting Soca Cruise and Trinity Jungle Juice in your adventures going forward. You have a true partner in the USVI. We look forward to continuing to build the relationship.
Awesomeness. Before we wrap things up, I know there were a couple key things we had to mention. And Ian, one of them was Soca Cruise is going to be giving away a cabin, apparently. Free cabin. Yeah. And this is happening through in St. John's celebration.
Yep. Yeah, so Nat and Jody came together. Nat, Jody, Vicky. Big shout out to Vicky Lewis. She's another brainchild behind that put a lot of this stuff together. And we basically came up with the idea of giving out a cabin on July 1st, which is the second night of the village in St. John, right? That night has Triple K band. Vibe is a local band that tearing up around here. And then of course Voice is going to be performing live for free. And so that night is really called Uber Soca Night, right? That night is Uber Soca Night. And those guys and they're gonna be giving it up. We're giving away a cabin. We're gonna put out details about that competition in short order. Again, follow us on Facebook, which is USVI Festivals, and you could win a opportunity to go on that cruise, get a cabin, courtesy of Trini Jungle Juice, Uber Soca, and the USVI. For free.
I love it. Free.
I take it, Ian, that none of the three of us could win that cruise.
No. We say like.
Just checking.
So, Joe, any final words before we wrap this up?
Yeah, I just would like to welcome everyone out there listening, following this particular event to come to the USVI. It doesn't have to be a festival. It doesn't have to be an Uber Soca. If you're looking for a relaxing vacation, USVI has many of the things that can allow you to leave refreshed and ready to go on to your life. I encourage everybody to figure out a way to follow Uber Soca when they drop them. The opening for them tickets, come in quickly to buy, because I've learned in my diligence throughout this process that the tickets go fast. So be ready to sign up. You don't want to miss the re-emergence of Uber Soca in April. And then to you, Dre, and your crew, keep doing what you do, man. You do a lot for us in the Caribbean and the world for letting people just know what we have to offer here in the Caribbean and in the US. As you move around to Orlando and some of these other feds, you're putting people on the map. And that as a marketer who does this every day, there's nothing more that we can expect than for our own to promote us. So thank you.
Thank you. Ian?
Yeah, man, just www.visitusvi.com, www.usvifestivals.vi. Hit us up on Facebook. Again, look for the giveaway, look for the rules for the giveaway. That's going to be coming out shortly. Of course, St. John is now June 26th to July 4th, but then St. Croix, the Big Island, they prepping from December to January. So that's going to be a movie because it's their 70th anniversary and you was in St. Thomas, Dre. You know what them 78 like? Them 78, they give it up. So,
Hoping to return for St. Croix. Looking forward, man.
All right, man.
Thank you, guys. I mean,
Thank you.
If you now joined in, we're speaking with Ian Turnbull, who is the director of the USVI Festivals leg, and of course, Joe Boschulte.
Yeah, Boschulte.
Boschulte, who is the commissioner of the USVI Department of Tourism. So thank you guys so much for spending the time today to tell us more about your beautiful islands. And we come in. We're looking forward.
Awesome. Right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Shout out to Uber Soca. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Uber.
Guys, final reminder. So first of all, thanks again for joining. This was Everything Uber Soca Cruise and the official destination partner for 2022-2023, the US Virgin Islands. If you've never been, go check. You have to at some point, whether it's St. Thomas, whether it's St. John's, or whether it's St. Croix, check them out. 3 reasons to FET. St. Thomas is usually early in the year. I want to say April, May. Then mid-year, late June going into July, you have St. John's. And to close out December going into January, St. Croix, right? So you have 3 times. You can go to all 3, or you can choose which one best fits your schedule and have a good time in the USVI. Trust me, add it. It's one of those destination carnivals because you can enjoy the island and you can do a bit of carnival. And of course, all of their concerts with the major headliners, free. They told you, don't just take it from me. I went, it was free. People went, it was free. They say it's free. We're taking it. And last announcement, July 1st. Put it in the calendar. July 1st is when bookings are open to the general public. July 1st, don't stick. 3 cruises, 2023. 3 cruises. We're doing our spring cruise in April, the 9th to the 14th, and then we have 2 more sailings in November. Stay tuned to Uber Soca Cruise, ubersocacruise.com. You're on the Instagram. Stay tuned to the USVI. Visit USVI and, of course, USVI Festivals. And, of course, stay tuned to Trinity Jungle Juice, one of the official media partners for Uber Soca Cruise. So I love you guys. Thank you for joining. And voila, there you have it. Trinity Jungle Juice, Dre, aka the Carnival Ref. I love you guys. And until the next time, peace, love, and Trinity Jungle Juice-ness.